87% of guys are not happy in their marriage. You don't have to be emotional. You have to be able to hold space for somebody who has emotions.
Keith Yackey, once pastor, now the Prince of Pleasure. Welcome to the show.
I am 100% convinced that a woman that feels radically loved, heard, seen, and safe will look to her man and say, wherever you go, I'm heading with you.
So what were the steps that you took to start resolving the problem?
Most guys feel like they have to have the answer in the moment, when in reality, if your wife's been thinking about this for 24 or 48 hours, and if you have the answer within 24 milliseconds, she already knows it's not very well thought out.
All right. It is my pleasure to welcome Keith Yackey, once pastor, now the Prince of Pleasure. Dude, welcome to the show. For those that don't know you, please tell us, because you say it so much better than I could.
Well, the big punchline, and we can work back from there, is that every guy wants to have a rockin' marriage where he feels totally desired, but 99% of men are doing the exact opposite of what it takes to create that, and they don't know it. So I'm just like, hey, by the way, do this and be this instead, and you'll actually get everything you want in your marriage. Take it from me, because I lost my wife 9 years ago not knowing this. And then I got her back. And then I understand how you rebuild all that and get actually the intimate life, the bedroom life that you actually want, rather than the one that you've been shamed for.
I love that. That is a great, great opening statement. So we met probably a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And you basically so lovingly with a smile on your face said, dude, you got to lead your wife. You're not leading your wife. And that was a massive reframe for me that helped me see, oh, okay, well, how am I not leading? And then I read your book, The Married Game. Great book.
Which literally they're in the hotel. I brought one for everybody, and they're in my hotel room. So I feel horrible I don't have it to show them, but yeah.
It's all good, man. It's themarriedgame.com, right?
Marriedgamebook.com if they want to go get the book, or marriedgame.com if they want to hear about more of the stuff we're talking about.
It's powerful. So let's just start from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
Tell them your story of how you came to this. You kind of shared it on your last podcast, and so maybe they could just go listen to the podcast. But the Cliff Notes version of being a pastor to the Prince of Pleasure, dude. That's what I'm going to call you.
Here's the thing, dude, is like I got married thinking that certain things would happen because, hey, now I'm married, right? Mm-hmm. I feel or felt probably like a lot of guys feel that when you say I do, it's done. Like we did it.
Yeah.
And I mistakenly thought that meant I was running through the finish line, when in reality, I wish I would have understood sooner that I was getting into the starting blocks. And I was like, wait a second. There's a difference between short-term attraction and long-term attraction. I understood short-term attraction really well. How can you date a girl to make her want to desire you and all of it, sleep with you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All short-term attraction. A lot of books, a lot of tapes, a lot of videos, a lot of seminars, a lot of stuff about teaching around how to attract the mate that you want. Not so much is talked about once you got her, how do you actually build that attraction? So I didn't know anything about this. I was just a short-term attraction guy, got the lady of my dreams. I'm like, cool, I got you. And I went back to my old ways where I was a horrible dad. I was a horrible best friend. I was no longer fun like I was when I was dating. So she left me. She literally said these words. This is the Hallmark card. You ready? You run your business, you come home and talk about your business, and you fall asleep on the couch. That's literally not what I signed up for. So we were moving into our dream home, and she says, I'm going to help you move in, but I'm not staying. So the punchline of all punchlines, she said, my life would be better without you in it. Could you imagine? We had been, we're going to be celebrating 15 years, so that was almost 5.5 years into us saying, this is it, you are mine forever. And her saying, my life would be better without you in it. And what I realized at that moment was that she was no longer attracted to me. Not physically, I did gain a bunch of weight, but it wasn't the physicality. It was just the energy of, gosh, he's such a taker. It's always about him. All he thinks about is sex. Da, 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 da. And I heard all those things, and none of them registered to me. And then when she left, I realized, dang, I neglected this lady. I didn't cheat on her. I didn't beat on her. I just didn't show up in a way like I did when I was dating. And she's like, damn, I must not even be like, she thought literally she was like number 7 on my list of priorities. But most entrepreneurs do that. They've got their business they're running. And I said all the same things most guys said. I'm building this for you. She goes, interesting, because you never spend time with us. Or if you do spend time with us, you're checked out. You're running some business algorithm while you're talking, but you're not really there. So there was no presence.
Right.
So she just eventually, like, most women take about a year or 2 to leave. They plan. They're like, this is horrible. What do I do next? How do I do this? And then I just realized, damn, I was lying to myself the entire time.
Okay.
But it wasn't that I was lying to myself. It's I couldn't see. Dude, listen, we've had close to 600 clients come through our program. You know how differently you see once you understand the truth I share.
Yeah.
Dude, that doesn't even fill up a student body section of a college football game.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And yet, once you see it, you go, oh, God, nobody sees this. And that was the big aha for me, is once I saw it, I was like, damn, I'm the problem. I'm the literal problem here. Not I have a problem. I am the problem. My way of being, my way of thinking, and how I'm showing up. That will just shake you to your core. So that's the story.
Dude, so once you discovered you were the problem, what was the first steps you took to because I know when you pointed out to me, I was like, dude, whatever. Okay, whatever. But then when you get still, you humble yourself a little bit, you can see it clear as day. And then you can actually replay almost verbatim the things that your wife has said to you throughout different conversations where you're like, she is telling me I'm the problem.
Yeah.
And I don't get it. Because in my mind, I'm amazing.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So what were the steps that you took to start resolving the problem?
Okay, so I had to realize first and foremost that there was a couple of things. Now, what I'm going to share with you is going to seem like a really fine-tuned framework. It was not this at the moment, but I'm going to share it in this way so that the guys can kind of identify themselves with this. Because there's nothing more frustrating to a man these guys are selling every day, so like they know that how they show up is going to affect their dollar amount, which is going to affect how much they eat. So like this is my guy.
Yeah.
Like the guy that says, I'm dependent upon me to make things happen. This guy intuitively already understands the frame. Wait a second. If my wife is acting a certain way, there's a possibility she's mirroring me back, or she's mirroring how I'm showing up. If a guy says, my closing rate's shit and it's always because of the people I'm dealing with, we know in sales that can't be true.
Yeah.
These can't be all shit leads. Like that's not even that. You want to believe that, but you know it's not real. And that's what every guy wants to believe in marriage. They want to believe it's my wife's problem. But the truth is, this is an actual number I've discovered, and this is conservative.
Okay.
95% of all marriage problems are the guy's fault. And when I say the guy's fault, it's not necessarily it's your fault, but it's because of the lack of leadership or how you've showed up that has created it. So in essence, you're the cause of it. And if we understand that our wife is mirroring back, or the sales number is mirroring back how well we're showing up, we start to go, whoa, shit, then how I show up actually matters. Right. So that was the biggest understanding for me. I was like, wait a second. The person who knows me, first of all, there was a tremendous amount of shame around it.
Okay.
Like, let me just step into that.
Dive into that a little bit.
Let me dive into that, because every guy who gets married kind of expects, well, I've solved the sex problem now. I'm married.
I can get whenever I want. Yeah. Especially if it's conservative, like Christian upbringing.
Push button pleasure, right? Like, lady, bink.
Yeah.
It's supposed to happen. And then when she doesn't necessarily respond that way, because that's not actually how it works, they're a little like miffed. Like, what the heck, dude? Why? Do you see all that I do for you? So I had there's a guy that's out there going, do you see the amazing life I provided for you? Why is it so hard to actually feel desired from you? Why is it so hard to feel wanted from you? I had all those same ideas in my mind. Why is this so hard if I provided for you? Which, dude, we were moving into a house 2 doors down from B.A. Baracus, Mr. T. So this is not a tiny home. This is not this is 8 houses in a private community home, okay? With cobblestone road, not the driveway, the road. And the reason I remember that is because when we packed up the smaller U-Haul and her and my daughter left the state, I remember feeling that you can hear the little gravel spinning back off of the gravel thing or from off the cobblestone road. So I remember that sitting there watching that U-Haul drive out of our little house, little community.
So devastating, probably.
And I'm thinking the shame part was like, this is my second divorce. But that is also when it hit me, dude, you're the problem. Not simultaneously, almost simultaneously, it came to me realize, well, then if you're the problem, you're the solution.
100%.
If you walked yourself into this, the only thing that's walking you out is your own goddamn legs. So you better fucking just start walking.
Yeah.
And what I realized in the similar situation was like, well, dude, I need to become the most attractive version of me for me because that's actually what attraction really is. And the punchline, if she's no longer attracted to me, it wasn't about muscles and abs, even though I did gain about 60 pounds. I went from 185 pounds of tiger meat wrapped in barbed wire to like 240 pounds of just what the fuck.
Marshmallow wrapped in barbed wire.
Yeah, dude, marshmallow with barbed wire hidden, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's a big bait and switch. Yeah. So that can't work. I can't be saying I'm the most attractive version of me for me if that's the case. And so I realized that I had a lot of masks and that these masks were to get people to like me, to get people to accept me, to get people to do things that I wanted them to do. And once I was able to go, well, dude, you're just doing this so other people accept you. It's not real. And so you look good on the outside. A lot of religious leaders say you look good on the outside, but you're full of dead man's bones on the inside. That's what I was, man. And she knew it. And so once she left, it exposed that. And I was like, I actually want to become this for real. I want to become this for real. And her leaving was the leverage to get me to really pull my head out of my ass and go, oh, shit, okay, hold on a second. What do I need to do? Well, I need to get back in shape because that's a principle for me.
Right.
Not to get her back, but I need that for me. Because if that's who I am, shouldn't I show up that way regardless of who's in? So I started to get that autonomy back where I was able to go, wait a second. If I'm doing this for others, that's not really who I am. That's to get somebody to like me. And that's taker energy. So a lot of guys, whenever they're trying to do behavior modification to get, like every guy, not every guy. Well, here's the statistics. You ready? 87% of guys are not happy in their marriage.
Dude, it makes sense. If you're wearing a bunch of masks and you can't really be you, I'd be upset too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if 9 out of 10 dudes aren't happy with the quantity or quality of sex or just the actual, they don't feel desired, they feel taken advantage of, they feel like, man, I provide this great life and literally hanging out with me seems like it's a bother or a bore. If they ask their wife for sex, they're like, okay. Yeah. They're like, gosh, this doesn't feel like what I signed up for.
Right.
Well, I had the big revelation that it's you. And if you don't fix you for you, the mirror's never going to reflect back what you want it to. And so I'm thinking, Jesse's a C- wife, and why won't she do this? Why won't she love me? Why won't she initiate? Why won't she enthusiastically participate? And it's like, well, she's just mirroring you back. So if your wife's a C- or D+, that's a really good indication. Guess what kind of husband you are? C- or D+.
Right.
I had a hard time swallowing that pill. But then it's like, why does a really good athlete come onto a team and the whole team change? Because he leads himself in such a way with such a high standard that everybody else goes, I want to be a part of that. So when I was talking to you when we were at Chris's house and I talked to you about lead your wife, the real emphasis was lead you.
100%.
What does you look like as a leader? And then everything becomes an invitation from that point, never obligation. Jesse's not obligated to have sex with me, but there's always an invitation. And she's like, I accept that invitation because I really like you because I'm not doing any of this for her to like me. That's the real conundrum. So that was the big thing. So what did I do? I got back in shape for me. These are called the divorce diets. And then everyone's like, well, dude, if you would have
there's a whole trend right now about it. Of
yes.
Like the divorce, and it's like And it's so unfortunate.
Yeah,
Bro, you could have stayed married.
at least get in shape and know it's not your side of the street.
Yeah.
That was what, for me, I was like, hold on, I got to clean my side of the street before I ever even would assume that I could point it out to somebody else. Jesus said that, dude. You got a plank in your eye and you're looking to get a splinter out of your brother's eye. And that was me. And that's most husbands are big plank eyes. And they're just walking around like, why won't you give me a blowjob? And she's like, dude, you won't even sit down and talk to me for 15 minutes about what's interesting to me.
Yeah.
You don't even care about me. You literally just put in some time hoping that this will get you lucky. And it's the whole frame of a man is I hope to get lucky, which means that he doesn't actually believe deeply internally that intimacy and making love and showing and sharing affection is the natural byproduct of who two whole, healed human beings actually are.
I like it, dude.
Yeah, it's the fruit.
Yeah.
The sex is the fruit.
Yeah.
So when everybody goes, like, nobody talks about this. Dude, nobody, meaning not a lot of, every guy who comes to me and says, hey, Keith, I'd like for you to help me fix this. I go, how many dudes have you been real with about this? And like, almost nobody.
Right.
Because there's so much shame around it because you think, open yourself sexually to somebody.
Because you'd have to take the mask off.
Yeah, you got to take the mask off.
Yeah.
You've got to be real. You've got to be honest. And that is exposing. And something that I've adopted is exposure is the gateway to expansion.
Dude, that's powerful.
If you don't know.
You should say that again just so they hear it.
Yeah.
Like, that's huge.
Exposure is the gateway to expansion.
Yeah.
So when a lot of people go, dude, never try and get your ex back. That's so dumb. That's so whatever. Okay, fair enough. It sounds as you've been reading Reddit or listening to some Red Pill podcast.
Yeah.
Congratulations, that's better than nothing. But relationship has a lot to do with nuance and a lot to do with understanding. So my wife left me because I was a piece of shit.
Fair.
So if I go, I'm tired of being a piece of shit, women don't actually choose who they're attracted to.
What do you mean? Tell me more.
They don't go, wow, JL, I'm really attracted to you. They already are attracted to you and then admit it. People are certain people I'm just really attracted to. I go, you're not even my type, but damn, I'm really attracted to you. Right? That's a thing. So when a guy goes, dude, we used to have lots of sex. We used to have all this intimacy. Man, I felt like she actually liked me. Cool. Then you're her type. But what happened typically for a guy is he stops doing attractive things and starts doing unattractive things. So he'll stop doing the attractive things like be in shape. She married me. You can see my abs, my veins, everything. 185, ripped. I literally got stopped on the street by women in Newport Beach going, damn, you have such an amazing body. Yeah. That's who she met.
Yeah.
And then she meets a guy with and then she leaves a guy with fucking man boobs and a belly that's bigger than her pregnant belly at 250 pounds, gained 60, 65 pounds of just fat. So you go, all right, well, wait a second. That wouldn't have been good anywhere.
Right.
What are you doing? So of course I stopped. So when you stop doing the attractive things, that goes away. And then you start doing unattractive things like neglecting her. Or like seeking her approval, or like becoming super needy and desperate. And when you ask for sex and she says no, you become a pouty little bitch.
Yeah.
And you start going, or passive aggressive. Well, if I just got more sex around here, maybe I'd hang that picture a little faster. And it's like, oh, here we go, tantrum thrower. Here we go, tantrum guy. So the step was, I got to get back in shape because that's who she married.
Okay.
The other step was, wait, I got to figure out what it actually means to be an attractive version. I said I'd be a dad, and I only changed 6 diapers in 2 years. That metric doesn't line up. So I started really spending time with my daughter from 2 years old on. Even though they moved to a different state, I would arrange for her to come out to me, and I would spend real quality time with her. And I was like, dude, this like being a real dad is way better than being a fucking dum-dum. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the dad, her best friend, checking in with her. I just started like actually asking about who she was. Like, what's the whole of her, not just the hole in her? Because that's what she said. She goes, I feel like a walking vagina, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like all you do is care about is sex. And it's like, I didn't want to admit that, but if I was to actually look at the time and attention and what was on the schedule, that was the only thing I was prioritizing for.
Yeah.
And most guys do that. Like, I want to go on a date, hoping to get lucky.
Right.
Transaction. Taker. I was a taker, bro. I was the biggest taker ever. And when I see that, I go, damn, I didn't do anything she wanted to do. I just made her do everything I wanted to do.
Right.
I used to watch college football on Saturday and pro football on Sunday and try and get a Monday night football in on Monday and Thursday night football on Thursday.
It's a lot of football.
And I bet you there's a lot of guys that go, yeah, I'd like to do that.
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Checks out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's only 24 hours of the week that you're literally watching a screen, and your wife's like, I get no time with you, but for some reason this football it's that important. But guys do that with everything.
Right.
So this woman doesn't feel like, she doesn't want to be your number one priority. She wants your purpose to be the number one priority. But she would like to feel like a priority in your life and that you actually schedule time to be with her. So these were the things I started to realize that I was like, damn, dude, getting my fitness in shape, actually caring about her as a human and not just what she could bring to me pleasure-wise. And those were the two biggest things that I needed to just understand right away.
So one, clean your side of the street.
Yeah.
Get yourself in shape. And then two, genuinely care about her side of the street. But not trying to fix it. Just be like, dude, what's going on over there? How can I help?
Who is she as a human?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is I had to ask, what are my standards?
Okay.
What are my standards? So a lot of guys that are frustrated in their marriage, they're like, I want a better wife.
Yeah.
I want a wife that would love me, that would initiate sexuality with me, that would make me feel like I'm the man, that would congratulate me, that would tell me I'm awesome.
Right.
Every guy wants that, a.k.a. be worshipped. Okay? We all love that. Now, what we don't see, though,
Does she want that too, though?
Well, but here's the thing: let me give you the best analogy. I said, okay, here's the situation. Your wife comes to you and says, listen, your favorite team is showing up in the playoffs, and the kids are a mess. So I've arranged a babysitter down the street. The kids are going to be gone. You're going to watch the ball game you love. I'm going to make you your favorite burger, and I'm going to make sure that your beer is always cold and topped off. So beer, a burger, and a ball game. The only thing I need from you is that at the halftime, you let me suck you off.
What's the catch? Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Every guy would be like,
Okay.
yes. Like, yes. Deal.
Yeah.
And yet no guys pause and ask, well, what is a burger, beer, ball game, and a blowjob for their wife? I'll tell you what 95% of women say.
What is it?
If you could say it. My wife said it too. She goes, I want a day at a hotel all by myself. I'd like to go to the spa, and I'd like to sleep an entire night with nobody asking me for anything.
Dude, that's valid. That's very valid.
And how easy would that be to do?
You can do it today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
But that's how unaware most men are.
Yeah.
Of just understanding that this human being that they think, because I protect, because I provide, because I produce, where is my passion? Where is your passion? And then understanding that there's a piece of this lady that needs emotional connection. You don't have to be emotional. You have to be able to hold space for somebody who has emotions so that she can share what she wants with you. She can share, hey, man, I don't feel very good about X, Y, and Z, and you not become defensive. I always say defensiveness is the number one lady boner killer of all time. Because if she goes, hey, I really don't like it when you yell at me.
Right.
Oh, I'm just passionate. I'm Irish. Blah, blah, blah.
No, you can't control yourself.
You're a kid. You're throwing tantrums. That's called a tantrum, so let's stop throwing it.
Yeah.
But if a lady can't share her truth, I've had my wife, but other women who've shared their problems with whatever they got going on, you don't even have to answer them. You just listen. I say this, and it's kind of crude, but it's the way, guys get blue balls and women get blue tongues.
Oh, yeah.
And we both want to give each other facials, but just totally different ways. She wants her words to erupt all over you and for you to be like, tell me more. Oh my God, wait, what did your mom say? And then what happened there? That's so a woman who is emotionally neglected.
Caring about them.
Like actually caring.
Okay. Keep going.
Yeah,
dude.
but most guys are like, well, I don't really care about that stuff. Yeah, but you care about her. And if it's important to her and you don't show that what's important to her is important to you, then she's not that important to you. That's how she interprets it. If you don't want to speak woman the way woman is spoken, that's fine. You don't have to. But for those of us who do, we understand. And by the way, when you understand it, you actually get the fruit of everything you want. I am 100% convinced that a woman that feels radically loved, heard, seen, and safe will look to her man and say, wherever you go, I'm heading with you. I don't want to be anywhere else than with you, around you, doing and going where you want. So it's not like submit to me. It's just like, hey, you're going to feel radically safe, totally prioritized, and really seen if you're around me, and I'm going here. Do you want to go with me? The answer is like, of course.
Do you know what one of your superpowers is, though, Keith? You make everybody feel that way, bro. Like, you walk in the room, and everybody in here, you took a genuine interest in them, and you were just like, dude, tell me more. Like, this is great. Like, it's just who you are. It's like, you're very magnetic.
Yeah. Well, that's what we call it. It's embodying all of this.
Yeah.
So what is attractive? It's people lean in.
Yeah.
So what the hell makes people lean in? You actually caring about them? That should be like the simplest thing.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't every guy come in here and want to know everybody who's running all the buttons and all this? Like, if this person over here says, fuck that guy, and this show doesn't turn out as good, what a waste.
Right.
Or if those beautiful humans back there who are editing all this, they might be like, they might go an extra mile to make sure, this thing's got to get captured. This would be cool.
Right.
How am I going to get creativity out of any of those beautiful humans back there if they don't feel like they're cared about?
Fair.
Like this, I mean, this is how I show up. This is by beingness. And this is why my wife goes, whatever you want, it's yours. I love pleasing you. Dude, I don't know how many guys look into their wife's eyes and have a big smile when they're orgasming, but I do it all the time. And I love looking into her eyes. I want her to see how happy she makes me, because that, to me, in my opinion, is her chief goal. There's my man who is willing to go out into the world and create so much value that it creates abundance in our life, to where I get to watch and create a beautiful relationship with his daughter, our daughter.
Right.
And then I get to spend time with this man, asking him questions because he's brilliant about certain things and he's a total dodo bird about other things, and we can joke about it. Dude, my wife and daughter, they say the funniest things to me, and I'm not defensive about it at all. They're like, oh, you totally do that. I'm like, I know, right? And so there's these little word tracks that I've taught guys, like when your wife comes against you and she's like, you're this, 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 this. And my guys, their ego, their butthurt, they're like, I'm not that. Just say, I know, right? You're not wrong. Dude, you don't think your wife knows your patterns? You don't think she hears you and how long you take a pee in the morning? You don't think she hears you when you're like spitting in the toilet when you wake up? Yeah. She hears all of it. She knows when you fart. She knows all this stuff. And yet you're here trying to pretend that you're not this thing. And so it's like, well, what are those three people, and what is this person, and what is that beautiful soul who takes pictures, and what a Brady, and what are you, and what do I want? We want to be seen by other human beings and be like, you're fucking rad.
Yeah.
Just for who you are. Now, you probably got a bunch of bullshit that it pisses people off too, but for what I can see, you got some fucking rad features.
I like it, dude.
That's an cool energy.
Yeah, that is an energy.
Game is energy. Marriage, game. I call it married game. Like, marriage isn't a game. Okay, go be sad and resentful your whole life.
Don't learn the rules.
Yeah.
And just go be upset.
Yeah, let's show up to the basketball court with fucking soccer cleats.
Let's see how that goes.
Good luck. You're like, why can't I run as fast as the other? Because you're wearing the wrong cleats. And there's so many mind frames that guys come up to, and they're like, they don't understand that. You know what? One of the best frame. Let me just shock everybody. The best frame on planet Earth is for a dude to pretend like he's a single father.
Okay.
Because he doesn't get caught in what's called the mom matrix. The mom matrix is where this guy literally is like, what are we having for dinner? When are you going to feed me, mommy? Are my clothes washed, mommy? Oh, I can't get all my clothes into the hamper. Oh, I washed a dish. Did you want to praise me? Can I get a gold star on the chore chart? Hopefully you give me a blowjob and pat me on the head later because I'm a good little boy. This is the energy. But dude, I don't feel, I don't want to, I'm mocking him for funsies.
Yeah.
But he didn't get there on accident. He's been conditioned. Men have been conditioned with one thing. Have you heard this? Happy wife, happy life.
100%.
It's the biggest lie on planet Earth.
I agree with you.
Because what happens is most men try to do anything to make her happy. But what will bring her happy? The same thing that brings you and I happiness. A little bit of struggle and then the struggle produces dopamine and pride. You know why CrossFitters talk about CrossFit so much, and why vegans talk about veganism so much, and why jiu-jitsu people talk about jiu-jitsu so much? It's because it's hard as fuck to do.
But then you win. Yeah.
But when you do it, you get proud of it. I'm so proud that I'm a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Yeah. I'm a 1% of human beings to be able to accomplish that. It's actually 1% of 1% to be able to accomplish a colored belt in jiu-jitsu.
Really?
So what happens is when you do that, you just go, oh, wait a second. I did that. And it creates a bunch of pride in you. So when a man lives at a real standard, almost like he's a single dad. I know everything that's going on in my daughter's school. You know why? Because they email me and text me. So it takes me all of 7 minutes a week to know what the hell is going on with my daughter's school. And yet most men have delegated it off to their wife. Oh, I don't worry about that. I'm worried about making money. Okay, cool. So you don't know anything about your daughter and her schooling, yet you're her mentor? That sounds a little odd, doesn't it? That sounds like you're not even fucking checked in. What is your problem? So I don't even look to my wife. She doesn't make my food. I have a chef that prepares all my meals. I cook, I heat them. It takes 12 minutes in the little toaster oven. I wash my plate and put it away. Jessie has to do nothing for me. You know why? Because what if she wasn't here? Am I not supposed to be a man to handle my stuff? Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is why it seems extreme, but this is where...
It's common sense.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
How about this? There's another common sense thing. Yeah. When you go out, when you get out of the car, does your wife run right up to the person and say, oh, party of two's here? Or does she wait for you to get out of valet and then walk in with you and let you handle it? Most guys let their wife handle it.
No, you wait for me, dude. We're going in together.
Of course, you and I say that.
Yeah.
But most guys don't. There's logistical leadership where a man comes in and it's like he clocks in. What do you need me to do? I'm so dumb. I have no idea. I have no brain. Yet this guy is running a 15, 20, 30, $80 million company. And he comes in and like he doesn't know anything to do. We've been conditioned. Our whole society has been conditioned that she runs the home, you run the business, which basically means when you're home, she runs you. And guys hate that.
We do hate that, dude.
Most men don't give up their power, their leadership of self.
Yeah.
When I say power, I'm not talking about wielding power over anybody else. I'm talking about leadership of self. They don't do it because they go, that might be fun, let's try it. They do it because the decision they're making right in the moment, they think is the only option. So they will give up their power because they think, most of the time, think it's the right thing to do.
Because we've been conditioned to think that.
Yeah, and how do they get conditioned? Culture, society, and religion. All beautiful things that can beautifully shape you into something that doesn't work in the real world. That's the problem. You have a bunch of people that are therapists with pleated khakis and leather tasseled shoes giving you the right answer, but it doesn't produce the result. 13% of people actually walk out of therapy healed. 99.78 13%, 99% of people that come to a married game become healed. And guess what? I have a lot of ideas of how to do it. Very opposite of what modern therapy says. I don't give a fuck what modern therapy says. They have a 13% success rate. As far as I'm concerned, that's dog shit.
That's a horrible rate.
Jesus said, judge a man by his fruit. Okay, cool. Well, then here's actually how to get the fruit. So I'm curious about what actually causes a woman to be attracted to a man. That's all I teach. Well, that goes against cultural norms. Well, cultural norms has almost everybody fucking divorced, and if they're not divorced, almost everybody's miserable.
Yeah.
So fuck off. I don't want to hear any of that.
Okay.
And guess what?
Yeah.
I went through a divorce trying to follow it. Jessie left me after we did therapy.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so that doesn't work. Well, here's how it works. Dude, she fell in love with you because of the leader you were at first, and she thought, my world will be better if I will be better if I'm in this man's world. She comes over to your world, and then you shrink the world because now you put her on a pedestal, whatever she wants. Dude, Jessie doesn't get whatever she wants, even though we have abundance and all this other things. And it's not that I dole out what she wants. She can get whatever she wants, but I'm saying just because she says something doesn't mean like I go, oh yeah, that's fine. I don't even answer Jessie directly on anything, and there's a reason for it. And she hates it at times, but she secretly goes, it makes me more attracted to you. So if she goes, okay, let me give you a good example. So for me, I love hanging out with my daughter. And so every Saturday we have like daddy-daughter day, but it's date for sure, but I like to extend it and all sorts of cool stuff. And we work out from 8 to 9, Jesse and I, in this group class, and it was 9 o'clock. She's talking with her girlfriends. They're just jibber-jabbering, doing their thing. I'm like, yo, dude, I got to go. I got to be somewhere at 10 with Jovi, and I got to get cleaned up. And I got a daddy-daughter date. She's like all excited. And I said, and I'm going to do some gummies because when I hang out with my daughter, I like to do sativa gummies, and it just puts me in the pocket to where, as a dad, I'm like, what do you want to do? And I'm going to do it with, my best parenting advice ever is do what your kids want to do with the same enthusiasm they want to do it with, and they will feel radically seen.
Dude, that's, again, common sense, but nobody does it.
When my daughter was 5 and she wanted to play with little toys, I'd take some sativa gummies, and I was like, dude, all I want to do is play with those toys. Let's go. And so I show up with radical enthusiasm. The same way I want people to show up with enthusiasm for me when they do my thing.
Right.
I want Jesse to come into the bedroom, enthused to be there. Every husband wants their wife, they want more than anything, enthusiasm in the bed.
Yeah. 100%.
They want enthusiasm in the kitchen. They want enthusiasm, period. So I go, well, then maybe I should show up with enthusiasm, and maybe enthusiasm will come back to me. And enthusiasm is my standard. So what happens is you start to move in these things. What is my actual standard? Yeah. How am I going to show up? So I said to Jesse, I said, oh, I'm gonna do some gummies so I can really have a good time with Jovi. We had all these great plans, like just delicious plans.
Yeah.
And so I'm getting out of the shower. I'd already taken the gummies. I'm getting out of the shower and, just being me. And she goes, oh my God, how many gummies have you taken? and my answer was, I thought brilliant, and she did too, but she didn't like it at first. And she says, how many gummies? And I said, the perfect amount.
Great answer.
Yeah. And she goes, you never answer me directly. All these bullshit side answers, yada, yada, yada. And I go, I know, right?
Just agree with her.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
And what happens is we talked about this on our podcast, and I told her the psychology of why I never answer you directly. Now, if she needs a straight answer, like, hey, what time are we going to, what's his nuts party?
Yeah.
It's 5:30. You know what I mean? That's a little different story. Logistics are different. But when it comes to like being playful, and what I showed her was the psychology of that's actually how best friends talk. So here's what happened that very morning, and I want guys to see the nuance of what they're actually missing, because it's so simple and it's happening right in front of them. But if you're not aware, if you don't have eyes to see, you don't see. If you don't have ears to hear, you don't hear.
Right.
But once you read the book or you understand this philosophy,
powerful, man.
You go, I can't unsee this.
Right.
I'm mad at her. Well, your standards suck. Shit, I'm actually mad at me.
Yeah.
You can't unsee that once you see it. So I go, hey. The morning of that podcast that we were about ready to go do it, I get my hair cut an hour before the podcast every time we do it on Wednesdays. And she brings my dog in, starts sniffing my ear when they have the blindfold on me to do the straight razor shave on my face.
Yeah.
So my dog's starting to sniff my ear, which I think is in the man cave, which is basically next door.
Yeah.
And I go, is that my dog? And it was Jessie. With my dog. And she goes, hey, I wanted to see if you got your morning coffee. I'll get you your coffee before the show. I go, that's amazing. So she goes out and gets the coffee, and then she comes in. I can hear the ice in the cup rattling.
Yeah.
And I go, is that Jessie Joy? And there was 3 other people getting the haircut and 3 other people cutting their hair. So 6 other people in the room. And she goes, no.
Yeah.
And everybody laughed the same way you just smiled.
Yeah.
So that's how best friends talk to each other. We don't give direct answers because then the rapport instantly goes down. And I said, Jesse, we do this every day.
Yeah.
When I go, hey, what are you doing over there? I don't know. That's what best friends do.
Yeah.
So if my assistant went out to go handle something with my car, and I came back and go, oh my God, how'd it go? She goes, it was amazing. Like she's playing the part. That's what best friends, that's what people who know each other, that's actually what we do. If we answer just directly, and then psychologically, if your wife always asks you direct questions, you always give her a direct answer, she's going to feel like your mom. Because that's what kids do to moms.
Right.
What are you doing over there? I'm caught. And so psychologically, she now feels like a mom. Also kills the lady boner. So everybody's like, if you ask any woman what is the answer to fixing sex and relationship, all women podcasters, women therapists, not everyone, but 99.9% of them, and I disagree with all of them, they go communication. Yeah, no, this dude's tried to communicate. He doesn't like not having sex, and she does not care. That's not the answer. The answer is never communication. The answer is this motherfucker isn't respectable enough to earn her respect to where she's actually attracted to where she goes, I feel lucky that I got that guy. And if she doesn't feel that, why the hell is she going to want to sleep with you? Out of duty? That's why it feels like a duty sex, because she literally just like, I do this out of my duty. And most religious women will do it out of duty. And a man goes, I don't want it out of duty. I want desire. Create desire.
Then be desirable.
Be desirable. Wild. That's the big punchline is, dude, if you don't feel desire, and then accept that that is a reflection back that you are not desirable until you have concrete evidence that you are. And that only comes from time and external people going, yeah, you are the thing. But every time I get on the phone call with a guy who wants to solve this, I already know where he's coming from because I'm hearing his words.
Right.
And their words reveal where you're really at. You're not going to believe my situation's super unique.
Is it?
Yeah. No, she lost attraction. She lost attraction.
Don't get it.
Yeah.
You don't get
but I don't get it. Okay, no problem. I feel like I'm in this seat because I was the worst of everybody. My wife was so unattracted to me that she's like, I will be sacrificing the rest of my life to stay here with you. And so her leaving was the leverage. It was the lever to pull my head out of my ass and go, wait a second. I had been with lots of women before, all very beautiful women. So I'm like, I know what I can attract to me. But that was all short term. This was long term. And so one of our jokes is we say that honeymoon sex is for minor leaguers and soul sex gets better with time. And it does because we become more one emotionally. I understand who she is as a human, not just this walking vagina that's cool that I get to parade around the room because my wife's objectively beautiful. No, that's cool and that's fun and I like that. But the reason she leaned most into me was because I noticed that she was brilliant and she was funny. She's like, man, as a pretty woman, I get told all the time I'm pretty. That's whatever. That's like expected. But when somebody actually notices my brilliance or notices my humor, dude, she had me just this morning, like tears rolling out of my eyes in bed this morning because she was talking some shit about me. Like good shit. She was right. Yeah. And I just was like, I was cackling and crying at the same time because it was so funny that she was just nailing me. She was just like, well, what about this? And remember that? And what about that? I'm like, oh my God, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
That's when the intimacy is into me, you see, into each other, we see. Like, it's just this, we really see each other. And when two people, like, really genuinely just dig each other, they want to make each other happy when they're naked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the natural byproduct. So if you have a good root, the natural fruit is closeness, oneness, intimacy. But everybody's like, we got a fruit problem. No, you don't have a fruit problem. You have a root problem. And the root problem is you're not leading yourself.
Gotcha.
So can I give you an example, or is there anything you wanted to say? I feel like I kind of maybe one-sided this, but if there's anything you want to add to it, I wanted to talk about like one thing, but I want to talk about a lot of stuff.
Dude, I love this entire thing. So I'm just in sponge mode now because I've seen it work, dude. Like the whole, you're right. Like literally when I told Shelly that I was like, hey, I'm interviewing Keith Yackey. He's the married game guy. She's like, dude, okay, hold on. I know what that game is.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I got a little bit defensive because it was early in the morning. I'm making excuses right now, right? And as I walked across like into where my office is, like I go out the main door, go under the little overhead pass thing into the garage, and then up into my office, right? And as I'm walking across out of the main door and I hear her close the door behind me, I was like, I should have just said you're right. I should have just said you're right, and there would not be this emotion and this pouty little baby energy.
Yeah.
And then we had to call her and apologize on the way there and be like, sorry, babe, you're right. I'll be respectful. So
you know what a great line for there is you're not wrong.
That's more better.
It feels different than you're right because it's like you're not wrong.
But you might be.
but here's the thing: is in her experience, she's not.
Yeah. Valid, dude. Yeah.
That we're honoring. I learned this from Wayne Dyer. It's so powerful, and it's the 4 words. You're right about that. I guess it's 5 words, but a contraction. You're right about that. And what it means, and he got to a point where him and his wife would just hold up 4 fingers, and what it meant is when somebody's saying anything, it's just you're right about that.
Yeah.
It's you are right about that.
It's almost like I surrender to, like, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
but interestingly enough, it can feel like that, but it's not that. It's you are right about that, regardless if whether that's my experience or not. That is your experience,
Bro, that's huge.
bro. So he would talk. I mean, he sold 35 million copies of this book called The Erogenous Zones. Right? I'm sorry.
He did?
Yeah, he sold 35 million copies of called Erroneous Zones.
Okay. I was
Not
like,
erogenous. No,
right.
yeah.
Wayne Dyer did?
Yeah, erroneous zones.
Okay.
I'm sorry, erroneous zones.
Okay.
And just talking about all the dumb stuff we do as humans, right?
Right.
And here's what we do and what have you. And he sells 35 million copies. He's on one of the big news outlets. And someone's telling him, how he's wrong and he's just a piece of shit and probably, he's just wrong.
Bald.
Yeah, whatever he is, he's
Yeah.
just wrong. And
Yeah.
he goes like this. He goes, "You're right about that. You're right about that. You're probably not going to convince him otherwise.
Right.
And who really cares? When you're trying to prove someone else wrong so that you're right, that's an inner wound that you're trying to fill. It has nothing to do with them. And you're not aware enough of that. Whatever they're saying to you is their own projection as well. So
Huge.
you're right about that. Like, I listen to Jessie. She says stuff all the time. And if I don't know what to say, I just be like, dude, let me think about that. Most guys feel like they have to have the answer in the moment, when in reality, if your wife's been thinking about this for 24 or 48 hours, and if you have the answer within 24 milliseconds, she already knows it's not very well thought out. So you are logistically so in a disadvantaged spot that you couldn't even be right.
Yeah.
And why not just take a beat and listen to somebody who knows you and just hear it? If there's electricity in there, that means you're unhealed on the inside. When you can laugh about something, humor equals healed, in my opinion. So when they talk about stupid shit that I do, I giggle. I just go, oh my God, I do that.
Yeah.
I do that. I accept that I do that. Why? Because I'm light and dark. I'm fat and I'm fit. I'm rich. I'm broke. I'm very hardworking and I'm super fucking lazy.
Yeah.
I am a representation of both of those parties. I could give the speech for both of those teams. And once you accept that, if somebody says you're those things, you just go, you're right about that. You're not wrong. I know, right? It's even worse than you even know.
Wild. And it diffuses them.
Because you're admitting who you are. And what it does is they realize, so you're actually in reality? Yeah, I'm in reality. I do a lot of stupid shit.
Wild. Is that what you wanted to go into? Is that you're both? Or
The what?
Is that what you wanted to go into? Is that you're both? That I'm a super hard worker. I'm also super lazy. I'm fit.
Yeah.
I'm fat.
The specific example I wanted to give you was the fact that we don't typically see things as they are. We see things through our own lenses. Yeah. So my wife doesn't reject me. She hasn't rejected me for years. We have a concept called never rejection, always rain check. So it's kind of like, hey, if you want to have some fun tonight, and if she has a headache or has to get up early or for whatever reason that's not on her agenda, she'll be like, hey, not tonight. How about tomorrow? Cool, no problem. We'll hang out tomorrow. So I don't feel the sting of rejection. That's not a thing in my life.
That's such a powerful frame, dude.
What's
never
that?
rejection, only a rain check.
Yeah, and my frame is always invitation, never obligation.
Also powerful. That one's huge in cells.
Yeah,
both are huge in cells.
Yeah, these are the immutable frames. These are the ones that go above any other frame and swallow those frames whole. So A typical frame for a man is offer. He makes an offer and there's an acceptance or a rejection. And he will feel emotionally about either way, typically. In my situation, I have rejected that frame or swallowed it with a larger frame that says invitation, no obligation. I'm inviting you into some bedroom
Shenanigans.
Yeah. And I would love to have you in there. Well, eventually, if she always denies my invitation, you would do the same thing you would with a best friend who you always invited over your house that never came. You'd be like, well, I'm going to stop inviting you, and I'm going to go find a new best friend. Yeah. If you don't want to be with me, I accept the fact that what a horrible relationship we have, that if you don't want to be with me, and accept that. So acceptance is a really big thing, and understanding. So I don't have rejection in my life, and I go into my wife, and it's about 4 a.m. I usually typically live for the gym right about that time, and I go to give her a hug, and we do this, and she grabbed my hand like this, okay? And I gave her a kiss on her forehead, and then I moved in for the interlocking finger move, right? And she pulls her hand away immediately. She goes, and immediately my nose, I'm never rejected, but inside my body, I had all the internal...
the electricity.
Okay. And the fire sprinkler system was going off, right?
Right.
I was like, that's interesting. I know I'm not being rejected, but I'm feeling rejected. So I developed a process that whenever you're feeling this thing, you take 5 big, deep breaths and ask you and accept whatever you're feeling. Hey, I'm feeling rejected. I'm feeling not desired. I'm feeling not wanted. And there's a lot of science behind once you label what you're feeling, not label the situation, label what you're feeling. Your mind and the waves like go like way down to like 90% down. Yeah. And then I ask a simple question: what are you trying to teach me right here and right now? Because I realize what's happening is there's a 5-year-old little boy in there that spoke up at dinner one time. And the 6 adults around said, "Now you're wrong, that's dumb." And I said, "Oh, I don't want to ever do that again." That felt like rejection. I felt stupid. I felt not wanted. I felt not desired. And that feeling is still in there. And of course, every little 5 or 6-year-old feels defenseless because they are. Every 5 or 6-year-old knows that they are defenseless. And so what are you trying to teach me right here and right now? And I realized that there was this internal rejection frame that my father had so lovingly handed down to me because I saw him in his life be rejected by my mom almost indefinitely. And so he just handed it down like that we get rejected by women. So when I walk into this world thinking everyone's going to reject me, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get rejected.
Right.
And so I realized that.
You didn't even know you had that frame.
Didn't even know I had that frame and didn't realize that a man needs to learn how to self-soothe, to go through that and go, okay, hold on, what was going on there? Let's let it breathe. I don't need to call my friend and tell him how mad I am. I don't need to call my wife and say, hey, can you not pull away in the interlocking fingers? Because what do every man wants to do in that moment? He wants to shame her. Don't you know how many women would love to interlocking finger with me? Right? And then shame himself. I shouldn't feel this. I'm 47. I'm a third degree black belt in game. What am I doing? You know what I mean? Like there's all this shame that we want to heap on ourselves.
Right.
And it's like, no, we're not going to shame ourselves. We feel what we feel. Rather than judge ourselves for what we feel, why don't we just get curious why we feel it?
Right.
And then I realized, oh shit. So I was able to soothe myself. The next day, I didn't bring it up to Jesse at all that day. The next day, I just said something, you're not going to believe this. When you pulled your hand away from me, I felt rejected, even though I know you don't reject me. And she goes, oh, dude, your hands are just so much bigger than mine. And remember when we did the rope pulls in gym class the day before? My hands were so sore that literally when you moved them, they stretched my hands. I pulled away out of pain.
So much pain, yeah.
I would never reject you, big guy.
And you would have never known that if you hadn't taken the time to get still, get the learning, get the lesson, and then be like, and then just be honest with her about it. And not, dude, that's huge. I love that.
Because I'm honest with myself.
Right.
And I love myself. I love that little 5-year-old in me that's just going, hey man, we were rejected a lot in our life. Did we end up making it? Yeah, we're 47, dude. We had sex with all the hottest chicks on planet Earth, and our wife is amazing, and she loves us, and she would do anything for us. So you got what you wanted your whole life. And it's almost like the 47-year has to talk to that little 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old and be like, hey, dude, we got it. We got it. And so this is what's happening in men is they are seeking so much validation from their wife and sex and whatever, but they're not actually getting to the core of like, why is this a big deal? And they're actually not realizing that their wife would give them all the sex that they wanted if they actually became the standard for themselves. And that's the big, I call these pseudo solutions because a lot of guys will they'll try and do more around the house. They'll try, happy wife, happy life, or they'll try and buy her more gifts, or they'll take her on vacation. Everybody loves vacation hotel sex.
Yeah.
Even guys in bad spots, they go, I only get the good sex I really want in a hotel on vacation.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well then that means you're not a high enough standard guy that you can create a container where that can happen at home.
Right. Everywhere at home. Dude, it changes the whole game, man.
Yeah.
When you just lead yourself.
Tell me about your experience without getting into too many details, without getting Shelly all pissed off, but what's the energetic difference that you've experienced?
It really just comes down to, first and foremost, it came down to just telling the truth of I am being a big baby. I do get pouty. You're not wrong. You're right. And then leading myself and then setting the standard of, this is what I do. And if you want to come, I'd love to have you. If you don't, no obligation. It's all good.
Yeah.
And it naturally there just ends up being more of an attraction where I do want to be with you. I do want to hang out with you.
Yeah.
And then also just having that honesty where instead of trying to make her really happy and trying to remove everything that I was doing or the agenda that I established in my standard to then hurry and run and cater to her, which then leads to resentment.
Yeah.
It's just holding the standard and be like, babe, I love you. You're great. I want to help, but I got to do this.
Yeah.
And then, she gets it.
Yeah.
And then she's even more attracted than, oh, I did all this stuff for you. And because I did all this stuff, where's my gold star? And we're going to do that one thing.
Yeah.
It's me leadership first and foremost.
Yeah, that's right.
And then the we leadership just follows. It just happens.
Yep.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
So,
then they feel like teammates again.
Yeah.
And they're excited on this journey, and they naturally just look to you where are we going? This is exciting. And that's a real vibe. Right. That's what every guy wants to experience.
Right.
But he doesn't realize it. And most men, they have the hardest time just they bow to everything their wife says. And their wife actually feels why is my husband such a pussy?
It's a real thing, dude.
It's real. I say to get your ex back or your sex back in a relationship, you got to get your ball sack and your backbone back. That doesn't mean be a dick. That doesn't mean make people feel like they're below you. No, it means that you're radically present.
Right.
That you have an opinion because you have an opinion. No, I don't want to do that. Well, why don't you want to do that? That's boring as fuck. I'm not going there for 3 hours. I'll go there for an hour or whatever. Whatever the example would be. It's I'll give you. Oh, here's a good story. This is powerful and it sums up the modern American male in a really powerful way.
Okay.
And a lot of guys are going to see themselves in this and go, "Shit, I don't want to be that guy." So,
but I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A guy goes into his closet and he puts on a tie and walks out the closet. And the wife goes, "Oh, not that one. Put on the navy blue one." He goes, "Oh, okay." So he doesn't care. So he puts his navy blue one on. Next day, he puts on a different tie, and he comes out, and she goes, "Oh, no, not that one. Put the green one on." So he puts the green one on, and day 3 he comes out holding 2 ties and says, "Which one?"
Conditioned.
Yeah. Within 3 easy steps, the man can't even pick out his own fucking clothes. And that happens over and over and over and over. And I'm just telling men that, listen, in a marriage, if you understood the way this works, you could get everything you want. I am still hitting top charts. Just last week, I was in here, Scottsdale. Of course, hotel sex is the best. And Jesse and I'm like, that was top 5. That man, you just top 5 charted it well done. And Jesse's all of them. You know what I mean? Jesse's all my top 10 at this point. Yeah. But she's still chart topping. Why? Yeah. Because we're able to unleash and release something in her. The more what's that?
Soul sex.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Soul sex gets better with age, and it becomes like this oneness of each other. This is a special thing, man, that you don't share with a lot of people, and it's the thing that a lot of guys want to share a lot with their wife, but they're really awkward and clumsy around it. And for me, I grew up in a really strict religion, so this wasn't pastor wasn't sitting me down going, "Hey, here's the moves." You know what I mean? This was we don't talk about that. Yeah. And it's really bad until you get married, and then when you get married, we still don't talk about it.
cool, man.
Where am I supposed to learn about this, dude? Because I'm looking at some sites that are trying to teach me about it, and I feel bad being on them. And they're Christian sites, but they're showing stuff I know I'm not supposed to be watching. You know what I mean? But I'm so interested in learning this because my wife's not responding, and what do I do?
Yeah.
So I feel like, like the real thrust of what we're doing is, the main thing is this ex-pastor turned sex coach. So I have a real deep love for Scripture. I have a real deep love for my Creator, that I want to be pleasing to whoever made me and the thing that animates me. But I also want to figure this out. And for me, I couldn't find it in organized religion. I would ask the questions, but they didn't really want you asking questions. If you had real questions, they wanted you asking enough questions that you would be satisfied with their answer. But if that's not the case, then they're not real keen on more questions. And I saw a oneness in Scripture that I wanted, that I did not find and did not find in very many people inside the religion I was raised in. So I don't have anything wrong. I don't care about religion. It's not good or bad or whatever. For some people, it's become an amazing tool for them to find their North Star. But for me, I've just found so many men in it feel a lot of shame around sex, and they don't know how to get out of it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I started I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start to share about how I used to be a pastor and what drove me. I used to read the New Testament once a week.
Wow.
And had half of it memorized verbatim. That's how into it I was.
Yeah.
But yet I still couldn't get the fruit of what it was promising. And for me, I'm like, I want more love, I want more joy, and I want more peace. That's the things that any religion promises.
Right.
And that's what I wanted. So I figured out, well, how do I get that for real? How do I get that for real? And that's what led me down a lot of this journey. And it's so interesting because now I come back, 90% of people in my program are religious.
Yeah.
Diehard Jews, kosher Jews, Muslims, Christians, Mormons, Jehovah's Witnesses, all the feathers and flavors that follow a book or the books.
Yeah.
And these principles work because it all comes down to one thing. Are you leading yourself? Would you respect yourself? And if not, you're kind of crazy to expect other people to think that of you.
I love that, dude. So I always end every single episode with one question, and I want to say I would know what the answer is, but there's been so many times you have shocked me in your answers that I'm not sure what it will be.
Well, perfect.
But the question is, for the audience, what is one thing that you could tell them so they could be more fully sold on themselves?
I only have one answer.
Okay.
And I would not give any other answer other than this. And to me, any other answer other than this is not the answer.
Okay.
One thing. When a man decides for real, he will do what he says he's going to do, when he says he's going to do it, without fault, he will get everything he wants. And here's the mechanism.
Beautiful.
People test what they want to trust. You run into an Amazon forest, you come out to a big ravine, 100 foot to your death, and there's an Indiana Jones bridge. You are testing that thing before you run out in the middle of it. Any sane human being would test it, right? Because you want to trust it.
Right.
So a lot of times a wife will test a husband because she wants to trust him to see, is this coming from the right spot or is he just trying to get something? And so when you pass the test, you gain the trust. And when you gain the trust, you gain the lust. So when the trust goes up, the lust goes up. And the only way to build trust is when someone goes, I can lean on you, and I know your word is as good as money, as good as the bank, as good as anything. Jesse knows since October 3rd of 2021, I have done everything I said I would do 99.9% of the time. She literally can bank on it, and if she says she's going to do something and she does it, and I go, what did you say? And she will be like, fuck, I need to do that. Simply because of the example I live. And dude, I have made mistakes. I was at my favorite taco shop the other day, and dude, she texted me, will you bring me home my favorite pork chop? Yes.
Forgot.
I get home, no pork chop. Literally her and my daughter are in bed like watching a show, and they're all excited. They're like thinking they're going to get basically dinner in bed. And I walk in, what's up, guys? How you doing? They're like, where's the pork chop and the mac and cheese? I'm like,
Turns
Guys.
out it's at the taco shop.
turns out I forgot it. I'm happy to go back and get it. And they're like, no problem. And my daughter said this, that is so unlike Dada.
That's the highest compliment she could have gave you, man.
Oh, my dad does everything he says he's going to do without fault. Dude, we were watching Adam Sandler. My daughter's 11 now, so she's coming into Adam Sandler movie
My
time.
kids are there too. Yeah.
Bro, those are good movies, man.
great.
I have such a different appreciation for Adam Sandler movies right now. I'm like,
100%.
he's a deep guy. He's
He
like
is.
the things he's pulling out in there, like, yeah, there's a lot of ladies with tits running around, but there's also moments where he's talking about his kids in bed with his dead, wife from cancer. You're like,
Yeah.
this is hitting me, right?
He's deep, man.
So I'm watching this movie, and this just happened Tuesday. So what today's Thursday?
Mm-hmm.
2 days ago, Jovi hits pause. We're right in the middle of this.
Yeah.
She hits pause. She goes, I have to go do my workout. I go, what? First of all, I was super proud of it. I go, huh? She goes, I promised Mama I would do a 10-minute workout once a week. Since I do dance once a week and gymnastics once a week, I added. So we bought all these little 3-pound weights for Target. They're cute.
Yeah.
They're pink and adorable. And she goes, I'll be back in 10 minutes. I go, oh, yeah. She goes, yeah, I have to do what I said I'd do. I said I was going to do it on Mondays, but all my friends came over, so I wasn't able to do it. So I have to do it now. I don't want another day to go past without doing what I said I was going to do.
Dude. That's
was
how
like-
you win, bro.
I was like, that's it. And it's
Yeah.
simply because of my example. When
Yeah.
her best friend dad shows up like 20 minutes late, she's like, why doesn't he do what he says he's going to do? Like,
Yeah.
don't they understand? Like, you just do what you say you're going to do? Like, my dad, I would never do that.
Yeah.
It's so, and then what happens is all that trust builds up. And when the trust builds up, when the trust goes up, the lust goes up. Dude, that, if they could just think of one thing, do what you're going to do when you're going to do it without fault, that's the only way to personal power.
right.
That's why I have so much certainty. I already know I already know Team Keith will do everything they say they can do 99.9% of the time. I have so much trust in myself. I trust so much so I go, thank God Keith Yackey's on our team. That's how I believe.
I love it, though,
Yeah.
dude. I think it's so
Yeah,
powerful.
but this is 5 years of literal 99.9% of do what I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do it without fault. It's why my body looks the way it is, the way my business looks the way it is, the way my everything looks the way it is because, we just do it. And, dude, there was a lot of nights where you're like, it's 10 o'clock, and you're like, oh, shit, I forgot to do my thing. No problem. Let's go do it.
Yeah.
And then you go, I don't want to do it. Nobody asked if you want to do it. You said you were going to do it. We're sticking to the plan regardless of how you feel. And then what happens? Everyone can bank on you. And
Yeah.
now I'm 4 years in the married game. And I can tell you this is true for business as well, especially sales, is people have all the time, they're like, I've been listening to your podcast for 2 years. I finally decided to pull the trigger. And they're some of our best success stories we've ever had. And they've been lying, and then waiting in the shadows for 2 years to get up the enough pain to finally reach out or enough
Evidence.
courage.
Yeah.
Or enough what?
Evidence from like
Yeah.
keep showing up.
And
He does what he says he's gonna do.
then seeing,
Yeah.
hey, this guy and this gal, Jesse does our podcast, they keep saying the same thing over and over and over and over again, and she's agreeing with him. Because at first you might hear me talking like, that's not real. That seems a little exaggerated. Like, can you really like truly have, like I always say there's an inner slut in every woman and it just takes the right guy to bring it out. Well, that's just biologically true. I'm not saying anything new. All the makeup and chemicals are in a woman to unleash herself.
Yeah.
The right guy can do it.
Yeah.
You were her type. You can be it again.
Yeah.
But you got to put down the mask. You got to put down the bullshit. And you got to just be really honest with yourself and go, do I do what I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do it without fault? Can they bank on me? And most guys know, dude. Because I'll be home at 5 and they're home at 5:17 every day. And there's always an excuse.
Right.
And it's just, women are just like, I'm done asking you to do things that you should do on your own. And I'm done trying to hold you to a standard that you should hold to yourself.
Right.
And all of that is fixed with that one thing. Do what you say you can do when you say you can do it without fault.
Dude, I love that. That actually is not the answer that I expected at all. Indirectly, as I figured you said, you got to lead yourself. But that is a leader holding someone accountable.
Yeah, that's it.
Pointing the direction and say, this is what I'm going to do, and then
Yeah.
holding you accountable to get it done.
Yeah. And now here, 4 years into it, the client list I have now is very different than the people I had 4 years ago because they're watching.
Right.
Almost every men's movement leader is a private client of mine.
I love it, dude.
for one reason. There's no bullshit.
Yeah.
You just cut right to it. They're like, and I want them to go teach these frameworks to others. Use, borrow, steal everything I have and go use it. I've 8 of my 12 competitors are my private clients.
I love that so much that you're like, come learn the game from me, and then you can go teach it.
Go.
Yeah.
Share it.
Yeah.
If you want to call it something else, I don't give a fuck what. Just, we have not even a full student school the student section in a NCAA football game. You know that one, the wild, crazy, what is there?
Yeah.
800 to 1,000 kids in that corner?
Yeah. We don't even have that yet.
Yeah, we don't even have that yet.
Yeah.
So, bro, go share it. Go teach it. When guys were like, "We'll get it," and they're like, "Keith, you're not gonna believe what happened. My wife did this." I go, "This is the way.
Yeah.
You're following the way. The way is be so self-led and create such an attraction that your wife is stoked. Dude, my wife loves being with me. She's stoked I'm with this guy. Why? I'm a player. I'm fun.
Yeah.
You know, one of our dials, we have 5 dials, right? One of the dials is be playful.
Yeah.
Like, girls just want to have fun.
It's true.
And most men are so uptight. And they're like, I'm busy. I'm providing. I get it. And I want to have fun.
Right.
And I don't want to feel like I'm the leader of everything.
Well, and the fun thing is if you actually show genuine interest in her, if you actually talk to her, she will tell you she wants to go have fun. She will tell you. Like, in doing the things that she wants to do with enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Always leads to something pretty exciting.
I remembered the thing I wanted to tell you.
Okay.
And it was this. It was a really simple example of where a guy goes, I want to take my wife on a date. But his wife doesn't want to go on a date with him because she's not attracted to him and he's boring and it always leads to the talk. And it's always her fault. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he goes, hey, I'm going to go. I got his tickets to stand-up comedy this Friday night. Would you like to go? And she's like, I don't want to go. No, I got the kids. Da, 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 da. And then what does he do? Most guys don't go.
Yeah.
You know what I tell guys to do?
Go.
Go. You can't talk her into being like, hey, I'm really a fun guy if you're not really a fun guy. And so what is your standard? My standard is every Friday or Saturday night, I'm going out on a date. If it's with me, it's with me. If it's with my wife, it's with my wife. You know why? I gotta let my hair down, bro. I am 4 a.m. till 8 p.m. Go. I know every hour I know where I'm gonna be and I know what intention I'm gonna be in that hour. So when I create fun time, I wanna let loose. Because that's the time to let loose.
Yeah.
So those are the types of things that like, oh, she won't go on a date with me. Yeah, because you don't even. This is a tactic you're using. It's a trick that you're trying to get her buttered up. So maybe she'll give you a crumb of pussy. That's not how it works.
Right.
No, we go out because we're gonna have fun because that's who I am. I'm a fun guy. If she's a boring stick in the mud, well then, dude, she's gonna have to figure it out because we don't do boring stick in the mud shit around here. We go Friday night, we're going to this I'm going to this comedy show. This Saturday, I'm going to that steakhouse. Whatever it is.
I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I would do. What you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it without fault. Make that your standard. You will get everything you want.
In everything. In
everything.
In your family, in your business,
That's
in everything.
the number one rule of sales. How many outreaches are we doing a day?
Yeah.
Hit that number and watch what happens and hit it for the next 30 days and then definitely hit it for the next 180 days and tell me it doesn't work.
Right.
We all know that.
Right.
I'm saying do these 5 dials for the next 30 days. Watch what happens. Next 180, you know.
Different man. Yeah.
Very different man.
Yeah. And here's the funny thing is your wife doesn't even actually change. You changed and the way she shows up completely changes.
Yeah.
But she's been the same chick the whole time. You just restored back to the basics of being the leader.
There it is.
So you dropped a handful of nuggets, Keith. There's more. I know there's more. I know what the $5 are. We just mentioned them at the very end. Mm-hmm. Where do they find out what these $5 are?
Okay, so 2 places to follow. You can either go at Keith Yackey at Instagram, and we have a ton of reels with my wife, myself, all that. Or you can just go to marriedgame.com. Marriedgame.com, there's a short video that will explain what these $5 are. And what they'll see is, oh, dang, I've royally messed this up without even knowing it, and I can fix it. It's way easier to fix than that. So marriedgame.com.
Beautiful. Go check it out. It literally changes the game. And the book cover is actually really entertaining itself. So you should get it.